OnlyFans. I'm not going to join. I don't want to join. But can someone tell me what Leah's doing on OnlyFans? That's all.
Okay, I love it. And I want to know more. All right, well,
But
you're calling BS on that. Well, that's very interesting. I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
she's doing okay. I mean, I don't know.
I
Who
will
wants
say
to sue
this.
Leah?
I do know this for a fact. You make all your money on tips and having conversations with
Yes.
men that subscribe to your channel and probably some women, and they want to feel as though they have contact with you. So you give them, quote, your cell phone, right, which is like a burner phone, and and people hire assistants to pretend that they are them. And you get tips. Like a guy will pay $20 to talk to you for 30 minutes. And then, while you're doing that, you're answering 8 other guys that are texting
Right.
you for, $50. And that's where your money is. So Leah's probably up on the game. I mean, maybe she is bringing that in. Okay.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. We have so much to cover. Do you want to keep talking, Leah, or do you want to,
No,
because
let's
I'm
move on.
obsessed. I'm obsessed with this Shannon Beador, John Janssen lawsuit. Now she was on Jeff Lewis and explaining the lawsuit. So curious what your thoughts are.
I mean, I saw she also made a statement that both of the times I was sued have something to do with Bellino. I mean, she was sued by Jim Bellino.
I actually thought that was a great point she made.
I I just feel, look, I understand both sides of it. She said, like, my lawyer wouldn't let me sign the deal. Like, I've been through a lawsuit. I know it's emotionally very taxing. So I didn't want a lawsuit and I just wanted to move on with life. And he wouldn't sign like a non-disclosure. Like, he basically wanted $75,000 and the ability to trash me anytime he wants. We were going to pay the money. We just didn't want him to talk about us or it. And John's like, I'll say whatever I want, which makes me think that he's like thrilled to be on the show and with Alexis and
smart play by Shannon and her attorneys. Very smart play. And I think Bellino has something to do with it. I thought that was a great correlation. Always murky, don't you think? Have you ever been in a relationship where you were paying for the majority of things and then he was, and you thought, are we going to have are we going to have issues? I mean, look, I get down about my money situation. And then I look at someone like Shannon Beador, who apparently was supposed to have this huge high-end meal delivery service, has been on Housewives for so long, went through a divorce where she got a payout from David. She could not pay her bills. She could not pay her bills for her girls, like private schooling and everything, had to borrow money from John Janssen.
but
To
do we
cover the
feel
bill.
sorry for her? Because she did say on this,
No.
she said on this interview, which exactly is what I've been saying all these months, that she said she very politely said our payment schedule has changed. What she is referring to is that every franchise had 2 things a year. If you're making $750 and you get paid in February, by the time it airs and blah, 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 you're filming again in like November. There's another $750 in your bank account. For the tax year, you make 1.5. You are now making half of that because everything, unless you're Beverly Hills, Vanderpump, or an exception called Salt Lake because of Vonti's, is spread out. There's only one paycheck now for these ladies for all the franchises.
No, I don't, nobody feels bad for her. Like no one feels bad for me. And I don't expect anybody to feel bad for me. No, I don't feel bad for her. You always think people who present themselves with a lot of money and a lot of opportunity, and she's been doing these live shows with Vicky, that they have financial people in their corner helping them get their ish together. And she doesn't. And so it's
You
become
make
very murky.
$750-ish. You can't afford a $75,000 facelift. And by the way,
No, she could not. She could not
I
pay her
know.
bills. That is what she went on
Well,
and
guess
said.
what? Well, guess what? Yeah, I guess you could argue it's your job. You need a facelift you don't have the facelift then. I mean, you have to put food in your mouth and you got to put water in your system or you die. Short of a roof over your head, which could be a studio apartment. I mean, and food, we don't need anything in life. I don't need the Louis, Sarah. So does Shannon need, if you can't afford the facelift, darling, perhaps you should not get the facelift.
Well, that is excellent, right? And that is what my financial advisor tells me all the time, like, you do not need all this stuff. And so I'm cutting way back. But so she said like the money was going to come. She knew the check was going to clear from Bravo. She knew this money was going to come. So it was just a little advance from John. And
Little.
John had never asked for any money back because when they first started, she paid for him to go to New York City 4 times.
That's what
They're
she said.
flying Delta, they're flying either first class, business class. She's paying everything. They're in the Delta Sky Lounge. She's paying for it all. Never wanted the money back because John told her, "You're my person. We're going to be together." And it all falls silly.
Let
Alexis
me
comes
tell
to
you
play,
something.
and Alexis has got a good litigation lawyer on dial.
Alexis Bellino has said, because she's posting and they got some love over like a few weeks ago over Easter or something. I don't know if it was that weekend, but a few weeks ago, someone said like the hottest couple in Bravo history or something. And Alexis reposted and said, wow, we're finally getting some love for this relationship. And she said, by the way, if you guys are not in loving this, she's like, we don't care because John Janssen is literally, she said these words, my forever person. Now, Alexis, girl,
Good.
I got your back, girl. I got your back. I mean, really? Because these are strong statements. So if this comes crashing down, you really want it out there that this is your forever person?
She
I
doesn't
don't
care.
know. I don't know. Those are big statements. She says she don't care. This is her forever person. Forever. She's done. Look, someone else or I saw somewhere and I was like, wow. And then I went and dived into this, was like, John is smiling in every picture with Alexis and he never smiled with Shannon. Then I went and did some investigating because that's what I do here, but they're kind of right. I mean, he seems, I think again, I've said it before. Do I think Alexis Bellino is lighter and easier to date than Shannon Beador? I mean, I do. I'm sorry. I do. Isn't that the point of dating someone, to be light and have fun in the beginning? I don't know.
Yeah, you should be having fun in the
I don't want
beginning.
to date anyone. And by the way, whoever out there I'm gonna date, if we're not, there's no Delta lounges and business class. And yeah, I mean, you can come into the lounge with me, sure. But the minute I'm flying you all over after like 2 times, not even, I'm not flying you anywhere really. Well, maybe once, but like, I don't know how people get themselves into these situations. I just don't know. I don't know. I
You're
just don't
in love. You've
know.
never been in love and like opened the pocketbook. You've never been in love and opened the Louis. I mean, come on.
I feel the opposite. I feel you hold your own until we're at a certain place. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like when one person pays for everything.
I
I just don't like it. I know, and it's just look at. I mean, Sheena and Brock. I mean, we can go down the list. We can go down the list.
mean, I
I don't
am
like it.
very, very grateful and lucky. I've never been in a relationship, and I know many of my girlfriends have, where the guy has asked